What's up, co-reporters? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, Kendall Jenner from the Kardashian Jenner family seems to be stepping out of the Kardashian umbrella or shadow and stepping into her own. She just did an interview with the Wall Street Journal about how she doesn't feel like a Kardashian and how she's always tried to distance herself from the famous last name. First of all, let's state the obvious, Kendall, honey, baby. You don't feel like a Kardashian because you are not a Kardashian. You are a Jenner, always have been, always will be, and that is perfectly fine. Though I do understand the general gist of what you're saying. It's just that part is just a little, all right. So I do want to say that, listen, it's not at all shocking to me that Kendall is now starting to speak up more and more about this because the Kardashian family show has been having less and less of her, right? And so I just feel like it's a matter of time before she ultimately decides to step back from the reality show because it's just not her vibe. I feel like Kourtney is already on the way to doing that. I did a video the other month about how she and Travis are allegedly shopping off their own personal spinoff, especially now that she's pregnant. I think that she could have some takers. And Kendall, though I do see her stepping away from the Kardashian reality show, I don't see her shooting another one. I think she just wants to live her regular glamorous model life and show little glimpses of it on social media, but not too much because she seems to be a more private person than her siblings. So let's get into some excerpts from the Wall Street Journal interview. Mind you, it is behind a paywall, which is why I'm using In Style to go over what was said in the interview. So, Kendall says, I obviously understand that I fall under the umbrella of the Kardashian sisters. It's just weird to me because I'm just like my dad in so many ways. I'm such a Jenner, in my opinion. Girl, no one has ever disputed that you are a Jenner. You brag about being this athlete, like your dad was an athlete, right? A triathlete and whatnot. Like no one has ever gone, oh no, like you've got the Kardashian genes. You're not an athlete. Like we got that. It kind of feels like a made up sort of complaint that never actually like existed in the real kind of like world. She continued on to say that she's tried everything to dissociate herself from the Kardashian name and the family's reality series, including filming for the reality series every single year since it began taping, right? Like absolutely ridiculous and so pretentious, to be honest with you. So according to her mom, Kris Jenner, Kendall once tried dropping her last name. From the time she was a little girl, she has seemed really definite in who she is and how she wants to do it. I would like to see receipts of when Kendall tried to go by the name Kendall and not Kendall Jenner, because I cannot name a single time. And so now when it comes to a stylist named Katie Grand, she says that Kendall was going by Kendall and not Kendall Jenner. She wasn't Kim's little sister. Again, absolute BS because she had been shooting the family reality show since she was like 13, 14, 15 years old. There has never been any real official attempt to distance herself. I think starting now, the future seasons after the contract runs out for the Kardashians, like instead of renewing the contract and continuing to film under the umbrella of the Kardashian Jenner brand, then it would make sense what she's saying. But until then, lip service. So here is a quote from Marc Jacobs, I believe is what it said. So Marc Jacobs said to Katie Grand, who is the stylist for his shows, that he told Katie that if Kendall fits in the clothes and looks good in the clothes and walks beautifully, I don't see why she shouldn't be in the cast. If you're only interested in her because she's Kendall Jenner, I'm not into it. I feel like these people are taking me for a fool because let's be honest, Kendall, Gigi, and Bella spearheaded the Nepo baby model trend, right? When you started getting all these people, even like some other people where you're like, oh, really? Like Kylie tried being a model before getting all that work done. There was Sophia Richie before she got her work done. There was just a bunch of people. Wasn't Anwar trying to be a model? There was also Rumor Willis trying to be a model. And a lot of these people were getting booked explicitly because of who they were, but more importantly, who their parents were or who their families were, and their social media following. So the idea that Kendall being related to Kim Kardashian and being part of the Kardashian Jenner dynasty, having all those Instagram followers, did not play a single role in her being booked. Absolute, complete, and utter bullshit. Oh my God. I am so stunned. I'm reading this article for the first time with you guys. I'm stunned at their audacity, the lies that they're saying, trying to put out there with a straight face like we're stupid and we don't understand the power of family connections, the power of a last name, the power of your social media following for a brand. Please, please stop. Um, Kendall claims that she always felt out of place in her family. She says that she was born into this life, but she didn't choose this life and she is not good at it. She says that she does it because she learned how to do it. Listen, that I can't agree with because I do remember seeing certain episodes of her moping around, even on vacations. I explicitly remember, I don't know where they were. Maybe it was Greece. And then her brother, Brody Jenner, was talking to her about, like, hey, like, why aren't you hanging out with everybody, blah, blah, blah. And she just said that she's got an anxiety problem and she just doesn't feel, as sociable as everybody else. So that I can totally understand. But just this other BS that, like, Kendall has made it as a model just because of, like, her own merits and not because of the Kardashian Jenner, like, family mold, please. Even Kanye West had a big role in moving her from the Sherry Hill prom dress girly to a full-blown model. Okay. And this applies to the other Nepo baby models as well. They're all in that position because of their family names, because of the probably, like, threatened connections if they don't, put these, like, I'm sorry, but in some cases, funny looking kids on their runways and in their campaigns and whatnot. Kendall is beautiful, right? She's had a lot of great work done. But there are a lot of funny looking celebrity kids who have been, featured on runways and whatnot that would have, like, been laughed out of rooms if they weren't who they were. Right. And again, it's the social media followings as well. Kendall is one of the most followed people in the world. So when she posts about, doing some work for this agency, that agency, whatever, it helps. Sorry, this brand, that brand, it helps the brand. And I will tell you this as someone who used to intern for a modeling agency way back in the day before social media was a big thing. I think we had maybe Instagram, but it was mainly a Facebook era. I was like a social media coordinator and whatnot and PR rep. And I still have friends who are models, like they were Victoria's Secret models. They talk about how these days having that social media brand, having your followers that the brand can exploit for free. They don't pay you for promoting their brand on your big social media platform, but they expect you to do it for free. And that is a big part of booking jobs these days. Okay, that is a fact. So please shove it up your butt. These lies. Just say that you no longer want to do the reality show because that's obviously what you're getting at. Say that you understand how, like, being a part of this family has helped you kind of come up and whatnot, but don't lie about it all. This goes to you, Kendall. This goes to your mama, and this goes to Marc Jacobs. Really, Marc Jacobs, you booked Kendall just because of her looks when there are a million other people who look like this and have the same measurements that you overlook because they don't have the fame attached to Kendall Jenner. Really, it had no bearing on you casting her. Stop it. Stop it. I can't with people who insult my intelligence. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I think that article, the profile that the Wall Street Journal did on Kendall is a load of bollocks. Absolute bollocks. I don't like when people don't acknowledge, the reason that they are where they are. It wasn't she like the same model who was talking about, I'm very selective when I'm booking shows, just a couple here, just a couple there. And then real models who had to come up off their own merit were like, well, we're not that selective because guess what? This is our thing. We don't have our family reality show to fall back on. We don't have millions to fall back on. Right. And like, we have to do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's all just complete and utter bullshit. They've got me swearing, and you guys know how I hate to swear. I'm just really insulted that the Wall Street Journal will put out such garbage like this. Like, come on, and I love nepotism in a certain, like, I don't know how to explain it, but let me say this. I'm not one of those people who will hate on someone for having great connections, because guess what? I do believe that you should have something. You should have kids in a good position, and these people's parents had them in a good position. They're not putting kids. They're not birthing kids into poverty, into like dangerous areas, dangerous situations. They're birthing kids into the best conditions possible. And these kids are reaping the rewards of that. That I have no problem with. The only thing I have a problem with is how disingenuous they're being when they're claiming that these perfect circumstances have nothing to do with their success. Give me a freaking break. I have to laugh. Ha ha. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this Wall Street Journal profile on Kendall Jenner? And do you think that this is her soft launching, her stepping away from the Kardashian family reality show? I personally do. But remember, it's not going to be an immediate thing. They have signed on for a certain number of seasons, every single last one of them, and every single last one of them needs to perform. Let me give you another example. Rob Kardashian, if he said he was trying to step away from the Kardashian family name and make it on his own and this, that, and the other, that would make more sense to me because look, he has not been filming that damn show for how many seasons now? Unlike Kendall. Miss, I only go by Kendall and not Kendall Jenner. And I'm trying to step away from the family. Meanwhile, I'm doing the family show. Like, come on. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm going too far. Bye, guys.